Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday, second Monday of the week, right? Well, like I said, the hits just keep on coming, and this one's going to affect us all again. Now, we all know it's hurricane season here in the States. Not that Canada worries about hurricanes, but every once in a while you guys get hit with one too. But in the South Pacific, you also have uh, typhoons. Well, there is a typhoon, Typhoon Muifa, that is fixing to make a direct hit on Shanghai sometime tomorrow. Yeah, good. Now, mind you, Shanghai is the largest shipping port in China. Personally, I care less if it wipes out China. I got about as much respect for China as I do for dog shit on the bottom of my shoe. But unfortunately, a lot of the crap that we buy in the United States is, and around the world, is made in China, and it's shipped out of Shanghai. Now, last week you had Super Typhoon Hinamore, which forced a bunch of container ships out to sea, and it narrowly missed Shanghai. This one is expected to make a direct hit, and there is a big risk that it's going to severely damage, if not destroy, some of the ports. So, what does that mean? Well, that means that anything that is shipped out of China ain't coming here, which is a problem. Also means that anything that is being shipped to China, food, okay, is a problem. So, it's going to be a double whammy on us where we're not going to be able to buy things because of more supply chain disruptions, and it's going to really hurt China's economy, no doubt, which it will trickle effect throughout the world. But it's also going to hurt our economy because if we aren't selling stuff to China, not that we export as much as we import, but we do export stuff to China, and this is harvest time, and food that we export ain't going to go. Now, you can look at it as a good thing. Gee, if we can't send it to China, maybe we keep it here. I don't know if that'd be a good idea. But the problem is there are contracts to fill, et cetera, that have already been signed. It's not like it's not a farmer's market. China's not going to the farmer's market and say, buy me tomatoes, okay? These are large government contracts that are made, okay? So what can we expect? Well, we're going to have much more disruption. Remember all these shipping container disruptions we had during COVID? Yeah, that was a big problem. Okay, stuff wasn't getting there. Christmas time bathing suits were showing up or whatever. Whatever. It wasn't any of the stuff that you'd get for Christmas. Again, we're going into the holidays again. Just telling you, you might want to start doing some Christmas shopping now. Just giving you that idea. No matter what's going on in the world, okay, at least for the kids, you're not going to explain to the little kids that Santa's not coming because a typhoon hit Shanghai. Okay, just saying. So if you can get some of that little stuff, it'll keep the peace around the house. Those of you that have ever had little kids, you know what I mean about there needs to be stuff under the tree. It doesn't have to be a ton of stuff, but whatever it is. But for the rest of us, how many times I have said, look at everything in your house that's made in China, and can you get another one? This is going to cause a big time shortage again, especially if this flattens out a port. Because remember, the typhoon hits, just like, hurricanes hit here, right? We've seen it. And it's in the news for a couple of days. How long ago was Katrina? We still talk about it. Why? Because parts of New Orleans are still trying to recover from it. Superstorm Sandy up on the northeast coast, okay? Why do we still talk about that? Because there's places that are still devastated from it and were never rebuilt. Things disappear, okay? This is, and I know people say, "What? Well, you're always a news channel or something like that." This is because stuff like this is very important to preps. It's thinking about what is coming next. What do you need to get? All right. What do you need to add to your prep? Somebody asked me about a bread maker yesterday. Okay. I don't have a bread maker. I don't know anything about a bread maker, whatever it would be. I understand why to ask the question, because there's different tools and stuff like that that we review and have. I don't have a bread pan and a oven is fine with me for making bread. Uh, but if you want to go buy a bread maker, take a look where all of them are made. China. We talked about dehydrators. Take a look where all of them are made. China. Solar generators. Take a look at where all of them are made. China. Okay. Practically everything you use on a day-to-day basis is made in China. If it can't be shipped here, we're screwed. Now, let's think of the political ramifications too. The U.S. is actively helping Taiwan, if you will, in protecting themselves from China. President Xi and Vladimir Putin are meeting next week. I think it's in Uzbekistan. Be Xi's first time out of China since COVID. But so now you talk about the political ramifications to this. Could China use this as an excuse of, oh gee, we just can't send anything else to the United States. We don't have the shipping. Our economy's in trouble. Manufacturing, we don't have enough power. We don't have enough food. Now we don't have enough shipping. I mean, China's a mess. Don't get me wrong. You think we're FUBAR here in the United States? China's worse. It's just, the mainstream media will never tell you that. And it's not like the Chinese press is ever going to tell you that, hey, you know what, we're screwed. But China's a mess. And so they could use this on a political basis too to make us a mess. We are so dependent on China. I'll give you this. Maybe y'all don't know this one. The F-35, the new fighter jet that we have, all production has been stopped. Why? Because there's a critical part in it that we can only get from China. Our military superiority is based on shit we get from China. Does anybody else see an inherent problem with this? Okay. This is what I'm saying. We don't have the manufacturing here to do it. It's not, again, can't snap my fingers and make a factory that produces bread makers, like I said before, or whatever. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that you're not going to be able to get if trade stops with China, for whatever reason, for weather, for political, for economic, for whatever reason. We're cut off from China. Basically, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you ain't getting it for a long time. Because I'll tell you this, if they cut off trade with China for any reason, like I said, I mean, either it's decided to or it happens because of an act of God. If trade with China is cut off, a factory making bread makers is not going to be high priority. Okay. A factory making solar generators, well, solar generators may be, okay. But all that stuff that you get, every single thing, it's not coming around quick. You need to have this stuff now. It sucks. This is the problem that we go back 50 years for on sending all our manufacturing to China. And the brilliant idea of, we'll be a service economy. Yeah, okay. Well, service is great until there's nothing to service. Okay. Hey, waitresses, that's service, lawyers, accountants, that's great. Okay. But if nobody's got a product to sell, there's no reason, they don't have any money to pay for any services. This typhoon's supposed to hit tomorrow. CPI numbers are supposed to hit today. That ought to be fun. We'll probably talk about that later this morning or at lunch. But yeah, Pay attention to what's going on with this, guys. I'll link it below so you can see the path. But this thing is just east of Taiwan right now, or northeast of Taiwan right now, and it's making a freaking beeline right toward Shanghai. And that screws everybody. There's a way to start your morning. Pinball out.